In continuation of our series of Nigeria's march towards her general elections in 2023, we focus our conversations mainly in this episode on the outcome of the ruling party APC presidential primaries, where its standard bearer for the election emerged. We also have item on census and its importance for Africa's development. And I am Charles Alpha, welcoming you to Africa Weekly. Standard bearers for the all-important presidential election in Nigeria in 2023 have emerged in all the political parties fielding candidates for the election. For the ruling party, President Muhammadu Buhari was optimistic that the transparency in the process will be an added impetus to strive for victory.
My fellow party members and compatriots,
it was indeed a long night for the APC delegates at the Eagle Square, and President Muhammadu Buhari cannot help but sincerely appreciate their patience, tenacity of purpose, and peaceful conduct during the special national convention. He equally commended all those who contested the primary election for their courage, commitment to the ideals of the APC, and desire to serve the nation at the highest level.
I cannot overemphasize that the principal challenge before us is the need to keep a united front in the overall interest of the party. I want to assure you and the entire National Working Committee members of my support. Please do not hesitate to call on me and all other appropriate quarters for the help that will propel our great party to the victory that we all seek. Please let us work collectively in the interest of our great party and our great country.
Do hereby declare Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the presidential candidate of our party in the forthcoming 2023 presidential election.
The competition is now over. Those who did not support me, you have nothing to fear. I hold no grudges and grievances. Let us each agree. We have to be tolerant, perseverance, and love for each other.
Now, census is an important element in development planning. In Africa, application of census data is still at the rudimentary level, but countries like Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, and others are making efforts towards developing a robust census system. Let's take a look at the preparation towards a national census in Nigeria, where 2 million Nigerians are to be engaged as ad hoc personnel to conduct the national population and housing census build for April 2023. And with a trial census fixed for next month, the National Population Commission, NPC, is training its state desk officers from across the country on e-recruitment procedures and methodology in Abuja to ensure transparency of the process.
The countdown to April 2023, when Nigeria will be having a population and housing census exercise, has begun. The task of providing the country with a reliable census data is at the center of activities at the nation's apex population governing body, the NPC. The Commission has already promised to make the exercise fully digital and has phased a trial census for June to be conducted in selected local government areas across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT.
We are laying a solid foundation for us to be able to count every Nigerian once or twice, and we also recognize that every Nigerian counts and should please present himself to be counted.
This situation room is said to be multifunctional, providing all census activities and critical vital meetings on the census process real-time, as well as interacting with Nigerians to correct misconceptions and receiving feedbacks.
So it's not as if we are assuming or you are hearing that people are not counted in Taraba or in Imo or in Ogun or anywhere. But this time around with the digital census, with the census dashboard, we'll be able to provide you this information live and real time.
And I can tell you, 2023 population and housing census, you count and you will be counted. Our results are going to be delivered in excellence and quality.
While the National Population Commission boasts of delivering on its 2023 census goal and a transparent exercise, Nigerians have their eyes on the clock, waiting for the end result.
Okay, joining me now is Dr. Inoa Bakari Jalingo. He is the Census Manager, National Population Commission. Doctor, we are glad to have you on Africa Weekly.
It's my pleasure.
First of all, when we say census, tell us what comes to mind.
Yeah, census is a total process of collecting, compiling, collating, analyzing, publishing, and also disseminating demographic, socioeconomic data for national planning for a specific country or a particular region at a specific time.
So now, so how important is census data in national planning, for instance, Nigeria?
Census data is very critical, not only for Nigeria, for the world all over. It's the gold standard data, that is data for every small geographic space. And this is supposed to be used for planning and development of the country. And also Nigeria is a signatory to a lot of international treaties and organizations. So we also have to submit some data from the UN to African Union and all these things, these sustainable development goals. There are indicators that only census data can provide for you to benchmark the progress or otherwise in the country. So even locally here, we have a lot of development projects that we are all looking for data to benchmark. The Economic Recovery Growth Plan is one of them. And even for our leadership, they need data to plan at all levels, from the local government, state level, and also at the national level. And data is a very formidable tool for assessing progress or otherwise of human development.
Okay, now if you talk about data as a formidable tool, for development, how accurate is the census data that we have in Nigeria? How would you assess its accuracy, before it is used or called into use?
The last three censuses, that is 1991 and 2006 census, are accepted census, but they use what we call the traditional method of census. The United Nations Principles and Recommendations for the 2020 round of censuses recommended that countries should leverage on technology to collect data which is going to be accurate, verifiable, and also reliable. And that is where Nigeria we are trying to achieve. In Africa, Kenya have done it in 2019, Ghana have done it in 2021, and now South Africa, I understand they are still collecting their data using the digital platform to enable them get accurate and reliable data. So whatever we have done in the past, this time around we are trying to do it in more technological way. And it is something that is novel, and it is we have started developing a lot of systems that will make that happen. Nigerians will see what we are doing at particular point in time. Just not quite long ago, the commission under the leadership of the chairman, Honorable Nasir Isa Kwara, commissioned the census situation room. This is supposed to be a room where all Nigerians, the media, and everybody can see what we are doing at each point in time. We have put a lot of system in place to ensure that this census that we are planning in 2023 that have been approved by the president we are going to give the country a census that they can rely on and they can verify on, and also that we believe that because we are going to show Nigerians the process, they will accept the census results.
Okay, now, Doctor, it's one thing to have data, for instance, and it's another thing to also want to use this data that is available for whatsoever reason at all. Any country may want to use that for, but how will you assess, the level of utilization of census data in Africa, and then Nigeria as a country?
Yeah, other African countries are doing better than us, I must confess. I have been privileged to go to Ghana that conducted its census in 2021, and the census result is taken more serious because all ministers, everybody is held accountable by the results of the census. And that is how important the data is concerned. And when the results were presented, each minister comes to explain what has he done or what is he doing to improve what the census result is showing. This is how it is being utilized in other countries. South Africa is utilizing its census. They are conducting every 5 years, and they are utilizing their census, and whatever the statistician general says on the census result, it is being gazetted and it is being followed with all development plans. A lot of advocacy is going on, and I can tell you that there's improvement in the utilization of data. Some states are doing very excellent, like Kaduna State. I think the governor is trying to benchmark all his development projects by the use of data. And I think that is why all of us need to do, because you can agree with me that even if you don't know the number of people in your house, you cannot plan for them. You do not know what food consumption they are going to take. So the issue of data has to be taken serious. And we can see that a lot of developments are taking place, but sometimes they are not well felt because the number of people is more than what we expect to be. And that is why census data is important, because it's the only platform that can give you all the results at the lowest level you want for national planning. And this census is even coming at a more appropriate time. We're expecting a new government to come in by 29th May, and if the census is conducted around the time it is planned to be conducted, they will use the census result to benchmark their progress by the time they must have completed their tenure in 4 years, and they will also benchmark with the census result to monitor their annual progress.
Okay, now, Doctor, talking about 2023, Nigeria is currently planning towards a national census, next year. So what are your expectations?
Our expectations is enormous, and we are also trying to carry along Nigerians at all stages of our preparation. I can tell you we have almost completed the enumeration area demarcation, which has earned us an international award, which the Commission is going to take sometimes in July in San Diego in the United States of America. This to tell you our processes. Recently, we have done e-recruitment platform, and it is a platform that we are all happy about. It allowed Nigerians to apply from their own local government area. And the recruitment portal, we are geofenced to the specific areas we are working. So that means people cannot go out of those areas to apply, and nobody can apply twice. And we are happy with the enthusiasm that Nigerians have shown. We have received over 30,000 applications when we are going to recruit about 12,000. So this is the kind of thing that we are doing to ensure that Nigerians are carried along and also expect a credible census. And the Commission is also, sometime before the trial census, going to commission the Census Call Center. This is also an interface opportunity for Nigerians to talk to us about what we are doing, about how they want the census to be improved, ask questions about the type of questions we are asking, also give us feedback about the performance of our enumerators and all that requires information they require for the census. In addition to that, during the processes, either the census or the trial census, we are going to deploy what we call enumeration dashboards. This dashboard gives us real-time opportunity to know what each and every enumerator is doing across the country wherever he's working. And it will help us monitor the enumerator's footprint. It will also help us assess how long they took to conduct an interview in any household or building. And it will also help us to know whether they have completed the enumeration in the area they assigned to them. So all these things, these are all the opportunities that the digital census is providing for us. And I think we'll call you and we'll call the media. We'll also, and I will believe that we let Nigerians know how the process is done transparently. And these are the systems that the chairman, Honorable Nasir Isa Kwara, and with the support of the federal commissioners and also the staff and management of the commission, that we are working tirelessly to put all this system on ground that will drive the digital census process. Okay, now you mentioned, you said that you are recruiting, you are planning, taking applications for recruitment, and also making call centers available to hear what Nigerians have to say. Are these factors for success, when it comes to this census next year? Or how optimistic are you that the National Population Commission will pull off a successful census next year? I'm privileged to have conducted 2 censuses, 1991 and 2006, and I can tell you I'm more optimistic than ever before with the systems we are having, with leveraging on technology as been recommended by United Nations that we are doing, that we are going to collect a credible, reliable, and acceptable census for the national planning that Nigeria needs. Our census was last conducted 16 years, so we are happy that this census is going to take place, and we cannot afford to give Nigerians anything less than a credible and acceptable census. And we carry Nigerians along the process as we do, we implement the census, so that they can be part of it, they can also assess it, and they can also be on it. And that is what the census is all about. Presently, we have an engagement with academicians in our trainings, and this is all so to make the system open, so that the census is for everybody. The commission is just managing it. I believe all Nigerians will participate at different levels to ensure that we have a credible and acceptable census. All right, thank you very much, Doctor, for your time with us on Africa Weekly. Many thanks for joining us. All right, that was Dr. Inua Bakari Jalingo, Census Manager, National Population Commission. And African foreign missions in Federative Republic of Brazil have expressed commitments towards sustaining momentum of stimulating flow of trade and investment opportunities from South America to African continent. Now, this is their position at the celebration of Africa Day with the theme Strengthening Nutrition and Food Security on the African Continent.
The day is a commemoration of founding of Organization of African Unity, now African Union, with opportunity to identify diversity as strong pillar of togetherness while promoting the continent's economic potentials. With the theme Finding Shows Leadership is expected to strengthen agro-food, health and social protection systems, as well as accelerate human, social and economic capital development on the African continent. In his lecture, to underscore the theme, Nigeria's ambassador to Brazil, Professor Ahmad Muhammad Makarfi, said Africa's huge population of 1.3 billion with young people making the majority is huge opportunity for balanced and flourishing economic relationship between Africa and South America.
Most Brazilian businessmen remain investors at home. They don't have enough information about what obtains in other parts of Africa and part of the world, especially Africa. Africa is underrepresented.
Ambassador Makarfi said there is need for the two continents to continue to work together and build on milestones achieved in fast-tracking development across all sectors of the economy for the benefit of their people.
A counter-piracy and response in the Gulf of Guinea, sponsored by the government of Japan, has been unveiled in Abuja by the Martin Luther Agwai International Leadership Peacekeeping Center and United Nations Development Program, UNDP. The Gulf of Guinea remains the epicenter of sea criminalities. And here is the report.
Formally launched the project for implementation to the glory of the Almighty God. The rise in criminal activities in Africa and the Sahel underscores this unveiling.
Against this backdrop, the government of Japan decided to fund the regional and national counter-piracy project to ensure peace and stability in the Gulf of Guinea and to boost regional and global trade.
The pilot phase of anti-piracy project contributed to raise awareness, enhance cooperation among countries and institutions, and improve capacities on anti-piracy strategies in the Gulf of Guinea.
Sea piracy continues to have adverse effect on economic growth and pose threats to the livelihood of the coastal communities in the Gulf of Guinea.
The most challenging thing we have is the introduction of small arms and light weapons. And these small arms and light weapons have gone into hands of the criminals and pirates. And with that, they are making life on the highway and the high sea very difficult.
The International Maritime Bureau has removed Nigeria from the list of piracy-prone countries.
Concerted efforts of regional and international navies, especially Nigerian Navy, had led to reduction in piracy incidents from 16 in first quarter of 2021 to 7 in the same period in 2022.
Well, that's our package this week on Africa Weekly. Many thanks for being part of it. I am Charles Alpha.